come on down to Studio A Power Station.
This very giant
There's a one button here
elevator.
that I will touch. You can imagine the artists that were in there. John Bon Jovi, I guarantee, was standing right where I am right now with a lot more hair. And he was a lot more fun. And Richie, I'm sure, was standing next to him with even more hair. Okay, and this is back just a couple of years. So John, love you, man. Here we are, floor 1, ladies apparel, men's underwear, t-shirts, hats, everyone out. Okay, let's head to the room that made it all happen here. Not B, but Studio A. The house that Bob built. Come on in, the big green door. Here we go. The most famous recording room in New York City, right here, Power Station Studio A, AKA Avatar. So follow me into where it really happens. Here's the room right here. Control room A. This is not a toy. This is one of the finest Neve consoles. This is ground zero of mixing. For me, this is where it started. This is where Bob Clearmountain was tracking and mixing the greatest records of all time, where he started by doing Chic and Sister Sledge. This is where it all happened. This is where the first room that he designed, and he worked with them, which is a fact kind of unknown. It was his design to make this happen here. And one of the great things he also developed in here, or became developed with this room, is that if the mix isn't loud enough up there, why don't we just bring the mix closer to us? How about speakers that move closer to you? How about making them almost like headphones because they go all the way up? Now that is unbelievable. Why don't we just see if we can get someone on the phone who knows about this stuff?
Hello?
Hey Bob, it's Chris. What's happening?
Hey, how are you? Good. I'm good.
I'm in Power Station Studio A, ground zero. Your room, man. It's awesome.
Great. Yeah, it's a good room, isn't it?
It is so good. I mean, the first thing I did was listen to a mix in here on the big reds, and it's just perfect.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's weird, those speakers. They actually work that way. Only in that room, though, really.
Yeah, and I mean, the funniest bit is when you throw the switch and move them closer, everybody jumps.
Right. I mean, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, it was like really a blast from the past coming in here. I mean, I know that right now you have the original Neve, don't you?
I have the one that was first in Studio A there in 1977.
Right, that's the one that's in Berkeley.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like from 77 to 84 or 85, something like that, I think. And then they put the bigger one in.
So when, like what year do you think it was when you were doing Good Times, tracking and mixing it in here? Do you remember that?
That would have been like 79.
Because, I mean, to me,
79 around there.
to me, that was like ground zero from like disco records to, whoa, that's not a disco record anymore. That's like a rock record.
Yeah, kind of. Well, those guys were into rock and jazz more than disco. You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing with them was they were, back then, they were hearing these disco records, and they had, you know, they were just these broke kids that were in sort of this jazz rock band, and they're listening to the radio and say, well, shit, we could do that, you know, and so they did, and then they went straight to the top.
Yeah, but I mean, I personally think that the tie-in with your engineering and the mixing made the difference, like turned it from just being normal to like more punchy, more impact.
Yeah, well, that was my thing. You know, I come from a rock background, but I was sort of trained as more of an R&B guy at Media Sound because we used to do, you know, Benny King and a lot of R&B and a lot of disco stuff. And so my thing was combining the two, was getting the bottom end like a R&B record, but, you know.
But getting the top end like the rock record.
Yeah, with kind of rock vibes, you know what I mean?
And the snare drum being loud enough like a rock record, cracking.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I could actually picture it happening right here in this room because that's where it happened, didn't it?
And so it was just me in the control room, and they let me have free reign as far as the sounds went. They never really got involved. They just went, shit, man, that sounds good, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, leave the driver to the driving, let the band do the playing.
Yeah, so it really worked out great. I mean, God, it was some of the most fun sessions I've ever done, I think. We had such a great time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm so excited to be here and go out in the live room and look around and just see the history. And just to be in the control room, I'm sitting literally at ground zero, I'm talking at, right in between the Yamahas, right between, I guess, Faders 23 and 24. To me, this is exactly where you sat tracking Chic, and here we are today.
That's right. Yeah.
And you see those big reds up in front of you, and you look out and you see the band playing, and I can picture you were here by yourself tracking this, and they would just come in for playback and go, yeah, next song, or, you know, this is great, we got to do a couple of fixes.
When I first walked in the building, I walked in actually when I think Tony and Bob, they were supposed to meet me there, and they went off to lunch or something. I walked in by myself, and I walked around and said, well, this is pretty cool, you know, it was an old TV studio. And then I got to the stairway, and I go, what's this? It's like a back extra stairway.
Oh, it's way upstairs?
Go upstairs.
So you can tell right now, by all the echo, man, there's a lot of mic cables in here. Oh my God. Can you tell it's chamber 1 by the echo?
Sort of. I mean, it's changed. Like I say, it's changed from what it was.
It's changed.
You know, because they had extended stairway.
So,
A part of it was the top floor, where it was a big open space. Now it's all sort of filled up.
oh, okay, and what, I mean, was this like a go-to, like drum reverb or vocal reverb or?
I mean, listen to something like Bryan Adams has it, and that's all that reverb. And Avalon is mainly that chamber, you know.
So these are the walls of Brian Ferry and Bryan Adams?
Yeah, that's what we use for you know, like the big drums and all that kind of. It just was an amazing sound. I mean, now I guess you can pretty much duplicate it with some of the technology that's available, but there was something about just having a natural, beautiful sounding chamber that back in the 80s was just incredible.
I mean, I don't think there is no technology that can copy this. And I can tell you, I've used it all.
Yeah, not quite.
Let's put some speakers, you know, the only way you can do it is put speakers in here and use it as a chamber while you're mixing something here. That is,
Are you back in Studio A?
yeah, I'm back in the control room. You want me to go in the live room?
So you look out into the studio and look sort of to the left, the keyboard room there.
Right, look to the keyboard room, yep.
And there's that mic panel. Right.
Oh, where the hooks are?
See, there's a mic panel where you know you plug in mics.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk right out to it.
Yeah, well, I wired that.
Okay, so you have evidence right here. So let's walk back to the, now I'm in the library. You can probably hear that ambience. I'm right under the dome. Walking back to Bob's mic panel. I think we're gonna have to get a Sharpie out here and call this Bob C's mic panel. Hey, nice job. Right, 48 mics in, and then you have the 4 Qs, and then, well, 8 Q, you know, 4 Qs, but there's 8 of them, and then the eight auxiliaries.
That's pretty good with the solder guard, you know.
Wow, that's killer. Hey, and this is the main panel for the room.
Well, for the keyboard room it is, yeah.
So right now on camera, I'm gonna sign this, and they're letting me, and I'm gonna call this Bob C's hand wired
You don't have to do that.
mic panel, and I'm signing my signature next to it.
Okay.
Okay, you got that?
Right.
Because you know what? When you do a job like that stands the test of time, people need to know that that's what it is. They need to at least have a marker. But this tracking room is just amazing. Well, yeah, I know that about you. You get the tech, a little bit of the tech fever. I'm kind of like that because it's because you want to organize it. You'd rather wire it because you know it'll be done right and you can depend on it. When someone else does it, you're like, I don't know if they did a good job.
Yeah, I know
Yeah, you know it's behind there, I'm sure. Well, everyone knows that you did it now because I just immortalized you in Sharpie. I don't think anyone has the balls to wipe it off. You agree with me? Okay.